Angelic. All right, so listen. Today's talk I've been wrestling with. Can I just go ahead and tell you that? I've been wrestling with it. Um, but I feel really, really, really impressed to share it. So I'm going to do Brock a favor and every beautiful person on here, and I don't have this memorized, but this may not reflect the views and ideas of the Brock morning and motivational call. All right. Whoa, y'all are like, oh shoot. Even Brock's like, come on, bro. You didn't say anything about all this. What you talking about, Willis? What you gonna be talking about? Well, just bear with me as we talk through this. It's just something that's kind of been on my heart, and it's coming through today. I might be a little calm for a little while. I might get yayed up in different places. I might get emotional. I might not. But I'm really moved to talk about this. First of all, I want to tell you, let me say this again. Each one of you created on purpose for a purpose. Okay, let's get on that very foundation. The second thing that I want to talk about is there's not one person on here that this guy is better than. There's nobody better than you. They may be further along than you, but nobody is better than you. You're like, get to it already. There's so many kind of people in this world. There are people, a lot of people that spend their whole life proving themselves, trying to prove themselves, maybe to themselves, maybe to somebody that is important to them or that they look up to, and maybe those feelings wasn't reciprocated. Maybe it's a group of people that you always wanted to belong to, but never really fit in. And so these people feel like they got to spend their life proving something, proving themselves. I want y'all to really, really, I know this is going to be slow. It might speed up a little bit. You never know about me, right? You never know. I spent my whole life trying to prove that I could do things, that I could you know, my dad didn't show me a whole lot of emotion. I loved him to death. He was my hero. But he never reciprocated a whole lot. He never said he was proud of me a whole lot. He says it a lot now. And man, does he show my boys stuff. I'm like, what was that? What was that guy right there when I was coming up, right? Everybody changes. People change. So you got these people that spend their entire life trying to prove something because they don't want to be by themselves. Because they truly haven't got to that belief that they are created on purpose for purpose. And it's no matter how many times that I say it or I try to convince them of it, sometimes they have to have their own disruption in their life, their revelation in their life, a revolution in their life, to hit that rock bottom in their life, to only have one person to look to in their life. And then they realize that their life matters. So you got those people. Then you've got this other group of people that's in personal development. And let me just tell you this first and foremost, I am all about personal development. See, the world does not shun the idea of becoming the best version of yourself. The world doesn't shun the whole idea of, personal development and trying to improve yourself. I'm an advocate for that. I think all of these things are important in the right stage. But sometimes we try improving ourselves by ourselves. Here's where I'm about to get real. This party is not greater than this party, and that party is not greater than this party, and you are not better than that person, and we don't have a point to prove, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Division, 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 division. Wow. And I want to say, wake up right now. You know what? There ain't none of us good enough. There's none of us whatsoever, again, that are better than anybody. And we all are in need of a relationship with God. Period. Point blank. Now, I don't know how many people I'm going to lose, but listen, absolute truth. We live in a world that treats the truth like a suggestion. But here's the reality. Truth is absolute. It don't need your agreement. It don't need your agreement to still be truth. It's been probably 5 weeks that I wanted to somewhat talk about this and get it out there. And that's how much I've been wrestling with it. And I don't know, he's probably 23 years old. I heard him talk yesterday, and he spoke on some of these things. And I said, you know what, if that young man right there can speak on this, and that's what we're called to do, and it's been laying on my heart, and I've been kind of dodging it, I got to do what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do. It is objective. It is unchanging. It doesn't depend on your feelings. And it doesn't need your agreement to be true. Honestly, the gray areas are a whole lot smaller than we think, too. We want to take the truth and make it fit what we think about it. The world has begun to tell us that the absolute truth is the enemy of unity. And that right there is where it's all jacked up. That we must compromise truth to get along. But that's not real unity. Now, understand what I'm talking about, okay? I want to be very careful in particular. The world tells us, and listen, I believe a lot of this stuff in the right context. Just follow your heart. Our heart may lead us something. It may lead us down the road that we're not supposed to be going down if we're not seeking Him first. Let me just stop right quick, okay? I'm talking about division here. We're all created equal. You hear me? We all bleed red. It's not just a color thing. It's all kind of things. Lord, I just want to, I want to be you. I've been praying this. I've been praying this. I don't want to say anything Chad wants to say. I want to say what he wants me to say. We all have well intentions. And sometimes those intentions become such a strong opinion that we crystallize that as the truth. That's not right. We all talk about wanting to be successful. We all talk about how to serve our clients the best. Let's go back to the affirmations. You were created on purpose for a purpose. You're like, get over it, Chad. No, I'm not, because you have a real you inside of you. The real you is inside of you. And we spend all this time trying to accommodate and make that, push it away and try to be somebody else. The real you is the real you. You were perfectly and wonderfully and whatever. That's the Chad International version made. And when we get caught up in this freaking halftime show and that freaking halftime show and make that more important. Listen, I watched a halftime show. I watched a halftime show, but that don't mean that I'm better than you, and that don't mean that you're better than me. Do y'all understand? Listen, how much, if this is not something that I didn't believe, how much would I have to hate you not to tell you this message? Oh, I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sick of it, guys. I want y'all to wake up and understand that this is spiritual warfare. It is. We're putting so much faith in a person, in this president, in this particular political party, and that, and this, and that, and that. It ain't right. We can all be different and agree to disagree. But if we're all talking about unity, listen to me. If we're all talking about unity, there is only one that can unify us. And it starts with admitting that we are not worthy, but he is. And it's all about alignment and getting in line with what we want to do. Let me tell you something. Think about rowing. He used this as an example. If in the sport of rowing, if all of them people were doing their own thing and following their own heart and beating to their own different drum, it might sound good independently, but if they're not in sync under one command of one voice, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just, I wanted to say it. And I know I'm getting yayed up, but I promise you, this guy loves people. And I love you right where you are. And if anybody's ever talked to me, if anybody has had one-on-ones, they will testify. They will, I don't care who you are. I try to be consistent. I'm not perfect. I mess up. I fail every single day, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not worthy. I'm messed up. I'm a jacked up, sorry rascal that said, God, I just want to be used by you. And you know what? I think he's using me. I look, here we go. Yesterday at church, we were singing and I can't even remember. The song has completely left me right now, but it was talking about we were made for more. I was not made to be tending the grave. I was made for more. And I can't remember it right now, but let me tell you something. Right beside me, out of the blue, I'm not even paying attention. I saw my boy, my son, Jackson, 16 years old, and he's doing this right here. And I looked over there at him and it It hit me out of left field. You know what I mean? And immediately I thought about it went from him to Clayton and their relationship and realizing that they're nobody and they just love people and they want to do their best to be used by him. And I busted out crying out of the blue, just like I'm about to do right now. But guess what? There's more work to be done. But if right now it was over with, I've won. I've already won. I'm just telling you guys, we can struggle trying to improve. We can struggle trying to prove. We can struggle on this tactic and that tactic and all of that stuff. But when you get aligned in what God wants to do with the real you, that who he created you for, that is an abundance that you can't put a price tag on. That's where I start talking about. That's the wealth that's built from the inside out. You don't have to chase no more. You start attracting because the people that you were created to serve, they will be attracted to that because they need that. But you can't put your finger on it, and we can't go do a boot camp about this and a boot camp about that. You know what the boot camp is? Get on your knees and ask God to use you. I'm so sick of this division, guys. I have such close friends. Let me tell you something. I said something the other day. Y'all probably got a video when it's been a while back. I'm just using this as one example, okay? One example. It ain't all about this. But I said, I need my people to come together and vote for my son to get player of the week. I had people say, what do you mean, the white people? What is Yeah, I'm getting gayed up right now, guys. You ask Jada Sullivan if there's any kind of bone in my body that looks at people like that. And I'm not saying it's just me, guys. I'm not saying that. We all are created equally. We all are created for a purpose. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to give him a chance. Guys, give him a chance. Just get along with God and ask him, God, is there anything to what this white boy, Chad Redneck, is talking about? It's up to you and him. But if you do this right here and you have your hands up and you truly seek him, I promise you one thing, he won't turn his back on you. You might not go to sleep and wake up a brand hammer new person. That's not how it works. But the enemy is real. And he loves this division. Anything that can keep our eyes off of him and us continuing to prove that you're wrong and I'm wrong and all that crap, that's how he works. He distracts us. I'm just going to be bold with you, man. Again, okay, listen, I'm talking a little bit about race here because that's the only thing that me personally can attest to. When that person said that to me, and you know what? I could have fired right back at him, but guess what? I ain't walked in his shoes. I had to pause. Did it make me mad? It made me mad. Yeah, but you know what? Instead of me just standing up and giving him what for, like I really, 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 really wanted to, maybe he's gone through some stuff in his life. So I showed him grace. See, we all are different. We're all brought up in different ways. And just because I feel this way, just because I've been brought up a certain way doesn't mean that person had the same blessing of being brought up that way. There's got to be a balance of truth and grace. If you're all truth, then that means that you could be self-righteous. You could be the very one tripping people up that's trying to come to God. If you're all grace, then you might be the one that's, well, it's okay. If you just start hanging out with them people over there, or if you start listening to more self-help things, you'll be you'll eventually change. You'll get rid of that anxiety and all that stuff. No, the only way you can change is ask God to give you a second chance and become who he created you to be. I don't know really what else to say, but I just want to tell you that I love you. I don't know your past. I'm not to judge your past. I'm not going to say that you know what, you're wrong. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. I'm not going to condemn anybody. I'm still going to stand on my truth. You see me standing on my truth. I'm standing on my truth right now. I'm not going to budge, but I'm going to love you. If I can help you, I can help you, but I can't change you. I can't change you. I heard something the other day that really, really broke my heart from somebody that's very, very close to me. They said they don't want to bring their young son, I think he's 8, 9, 10 years old, I can't remember, to church because they don't want him to grow up and hate it. That's what we are called to do. I'm going to be held accountable for that. God is the one that does that work. We think that we're in control. We're not in control of that. We can't change anybody. But we can be who God called us to be and share the fruits of the Spirit. And don't judge and just be consistent and love people. But don't compromise the truth. I didn't even get to the rest of these notes. You know what? I think that's all I got. That's all I got inside of me. If nothing else, I want this call. I wanted you to hear my heart. I wanted you to realize my conviction in it. And I wanted you to realize that if we don't have that foundation down pat, then it's always going to be a struggle. You're always going to be fixing this and fixing that and fixing this and fixing that. But that foundation, it's not about who you are. It's about whose you are. And if you can go to that every single time something happens, what are you trying to teach me, God? What are you trying to show me? How did you equip me to get through this? Now, how can I use this platform to be better? And let me just tell you, I believe that your faith should go in every drawer of your life. Period. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I'm going to say it one more time. That's what I believe. There is no separation. It was separated for a long time, and I felt like I was a good person, and I kept my Jesus tab open. You know what I mean? Open. A constant state of prayer. If I need him, he's there. No, you know what? He's my operating system. And every once in a while, I got to hit the Control-Alt-Delete. Like Rebecca says, because I'm human. I'm jacked up. I mess up. Okay, I'm going to shut up. That's all I got. That's all I got. I love you. I love each and every one of you. And listen, I want to give an invitation. If you want to talk to me about business, if you want to talk to me about a relationship with God, we ain't got no music, but I'm giving you that invitation. You reach out to me, and I will love you. I'll give you a virtual hug. I promise you, it's worth it. Not to talk to me. Not that ain't what I mean. But it'll change your life. That's all I got, guys.